Hello YouTube, this is Armoury Reviews 1, or Tom. This is the Comic Cache with my weekly comic book haul. So, this week, I only got 3 comics. Not many, but they are good. Nightwing, issue 22. This one, obviously still set in Chicago. Really nice cover. And basically what's happening is Nightwing knows that Zuko is working for the mayor. He wants the mayor to sort of give him up. In the meantime, Prankster is trying to take over the city and get a lot of money from the mayor. And this all happening at the same time causes quite a bit of a stir. So this is Nightwing trying to get the mayor to give Zuko up. Being a bit Spider-Man there. Here's the Prankster getting all of his henchmen. There's Zuko. One of the acts that Prankster commits to try and get the money that he wants. Again, Nightwing has lots of amazing double page spreads. I really like it. This is really weird. He's got a load of people hostage, and they're all tied up, and they're all tied on a string to a trigger of an assault rifle. So if they move, they die. It's quite clever and quite sick. So yeah, it was not a ton of stuff, but it was a lot of detail when we start to learn about the reporter that we see trying to take down Nightwing through the media, and we see how sort of corrupt we actually see the mayor as corrupt, because Nightwing knows that he knows about Zuko because of a coincidence about the fact that Zuko was in prison with the mayor's brother. And we see that Prankster isn't entirely wrong in what he's trying to accomplish. It's just whether what he's doing is justified by the outcome. So yeah, it's interesting. It's Nightwing, a lot of really cool fight scenes, acrobatics, lots of jokes in there. It was very funny. Although this is definitely not an issue to pick up if you're not already invested in Nightwing. You won't understand anything in this. So, if you want to start in Nightwing, I'd go back and watch my comic caches and work out which one you'd want to start on. But not this one, not one to start on. Then we have Batman 0 Year, number 2, or actual Batman issue 22. So it's a 0 Year part 2. Now this is all about Bruce when he's not Batman yet. He's still trying to take down the Red Hood gang as a ghost rather than as an entity. So as you see in year 1 and Batman Begins, he creates the entity of Batman to fight crime with. The other option is he could use Bruce Wayne, but in this he's using none. He's trying to go completely unnoticed as he takes them down, and it's not working. And we see a fight between, well, not a fight, not a like proper fist up fight, but a fight between Alfred and Bruce, which is quite interesting. We also see Bruce's uncle has told the city that Bruce is still alive. He doesn't want that because he can't work as a ghost then. So we might see him become Batman soon. We also get the Riddler is introduced, although just as Edward Nygma, with a few riddles and a few interesting things. But then we get this, part 2 of it, where he's in the desert with this Russian guy who's putting him through tests, and he makes him escape from a box that is completely cut off of air, a light, and he does, and it's really interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's Batman, you can't not enjoy it. Scott Snyder is still doing very well. Finally, the one I was most looking forward to, Superman Unchained issue 2. Oh, it's good. This was really interesting. So we see Lex Luthor is still trying to build this city of his, but no one else wants it. And then we see in Dubai, we see Ascension back, the terrorist group. And this tower is falling. it's got the same population as Smallville, and he has to stop it. He's counting down, and he's trying to work out what he needs to do to stop this tower from falling. He thinks like he can heat up and then freeze the steel in the building so it will reinforce, and then he can just sort of hold it up and it won't break. But that will burn and freeze anyone standing near the edge of the building. There's a few more ideas. He's counting down the seconds. Then something fires him into a building. Then we see him get out. He says, "Lucky you, empty office." I want that as a poster. That is the thing I wanted as the big poster. I would love that on my wall. It looks similar to what's on my Ultimate Guide to the Man of Steel. So yes, this is what he used. And it looks surprisingly like the thing from Forza. Whatever. It's a big construction vehicle that does the job of every construction vehicle that you can have. But it punches him into the water, and he thinks, I'm in the water. So he makes it into a whirlpool, whirlpools it up to the building, and then freezes it, as you can see there. And it holds the building up. And he goes and kills the machine thing. Then we see him go to the Batcave, and we see the interactions between Bruce and Clark. And Bruce has built a suit that can't be seen by Superman. Basically, it runs through the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So if it detects him, say, trying to look for things in the ultraviolet part of the electromagnetic spectrum, that is the bit that the suit will hide from. Because it can't hide from all of it at once. And then if he detects that Superman is trying to look at him through the infrared, it will block that bit. And it actually works. He can't detect him. And the reason he's there is to ask about this piece of metal that he got from a satellite. And we find out that there is actually another being that's more powerful than Superman on Earth. Then we see him and General Lane. And he's here about some guy who claims to be an Ascension. But obviously it's General Lane. No one actually trusts him. He's got an army of tanks that fire black hole lasers. And they fire. And we see him start to... Oh god. His power starts to go out of control. And then boom. We have this being drop. Oh, that's the Flash. And there he is. That is the being that we did see a glimpse of in issue 1. We still don't know who he is, or why, or what he's doing. We see Lex being clever, making the model blow up with enough explosives in it, and escaping. They put gas in there that's going to make him fall asleep, but he's in this suit that will just drive him to the end anyway. And then finally, we see Bruce going to destroy the suit that can get him away from Superman. But then he thinks that the one person in the world that can appreciate the danger of uncontrolled power is Superman. And he wouldn't want him to destroy the suit. And that was it. So we've got a being that's more powerful than Superman, wanting to protect Superman. We have Batman with something that can effectively beat Superman. And we have the army and General Lane actively trying to kill Superman. And we have a terrorist group that doesn't seem to have any proper motive other than just to create fit. You know, they don't actually want anything. I suppose that's the definition of a terrorist group. And it's interesting, and that is definitely... I can't wait for issue 3. I really, really like this. This is better than Action Comics. by far. And yeah, it's Scott Snyder, and it's amazing. And who's just the artwork on it? Oh, it's Jim Lee. It's Jim Lee artwork. You can't go wrong with that. So seriously, if you're not picking up Superman Unchained, you have any interest in Superman, pick it up. I'm sure your comic shop will still be able to get issue 1 in for you. It was only last month. And issue 2, obviously. You need to buy it. It's amazing. Do I need to say anything else? Just buy it. Okay? Right. I've been Movies On, Tom. Thank you for watching the Comic Cash. And I will see you next week.